Most people could visualize a coach that is expecting to get his team in condition, and after the day of a long practice or they've been working out hard, doesn't matter the sport, he says, hey, it's time now to run 2 miles. And he gives you the route to run, and inevitably there's going to be somebody in that group that's going to look for a shortcut. And they can know they can cut across, kind of wait for the rest to get there, and then kind of jump back in and act like they run the entire distance. That is not going to win the team, win the game. That's not what you want to do. And this subject is there's no shortcuts. There's no way to just come to the top, get past certain things without a little pain, without a little endurance, without some testing. You see, it's kind of like someone that plays the guitar. Now, I don't play the guitar now, but I did when I was much younger. And I had to, when I first started playing the guitar, I had to callus up my fingers, the end of my fingers. Those wires hurt. And so a real guitar player, you can tell because those ends of those fingers, man, they're calloused. They're full of good calluses because they've played and rubbed against that wire so much. That's what it's going to take. You're going to have to do some of that no matter what. God seems to take us off the easy pathway because in going on the more difficult pathway, there's a lot more to learn. And there's a lot more you can learn. And a lot of times God's taking you on that path to teach you something. He's putting something in you that you're going to need down the future. Again, I've talked many times about don't be the employee working for somebody that's just biding time, trying to get through this day, trying to get through the week. And on this other side, on the side, man, they are over here just planning this ownership of this business or doing something, but you can't take a shortcut in the fact that while you're on the job, there's many things that your pathway is going to take that is going to take you. I would actually recommend that you volunteer for the difficult things. I would actually recommend that you be the first hand up in the air when somebody says, hey, we have a real difficult situation here. I need somebody to, and you look at it and say, I'll do that. And they'll solve that problem. That's a great way to advance yourself in that business, but also advance yourself in the kingdom of God in the way that you're going to own and operate a business. God is not interested in where you're going. He's interested in who you're becoming. You are becoming someone based on the track record you have, and shortcuts are not a part of that. You see, as you go down the pathway, there's going to be a time period where there's some difficult things. And you have a chance to try to detour around those or take a shortcut around those or go on through those and learn the lesson. So take the lesson. Don't harm yourself. Don't create any harm here, but there's lessons to be learned in everything you're doing. Every time you go to work, every day you go to the work, you could challenge yourself to put yourself on the spot and learn a lesson that day. Learn from somebody. It doesn't have to be from the boss. It doesn't have to be from the professional. Learn from the others around you. Be a learning, be an asking a question machine, asking questions, asking questions, asking questions. There's no shortcuts. And in this process, there's going to be a place and time that you're going to decide, hey, it's time for me to go on to something new and different. You see, I happen to have an attitude that at the point and time that I wasn't in a position to learn, I wasn't aggressively learning. I'm not talking about just in one day, but I could see that this is tailing down. And now I'm going to be kind of a clock puncher. Okay, I punched in and got paid and went home. I punched in the next day, that kind of an attitude. That's when I started looking around and say, hey, I think this gig has ended. I think I'm ready to move on. I don't want to go through life just putting in my time. I want to go through life learning. That caused me to jump around a little bit. Not radically. I was 9 years in my first business. Then I moved to this town and created I went to Bible school for 2 years. At the end of that, I started the moving and storage company. It was tough, 17 years in that. Then at that, I took 6 years where I did ministry and invested homes and real estate. And then I'm in this machine shop. And you know, if this ends or when this ends, I've got another thing planned. So why would I change around? I would only change when things, not when they get tough. You don't want to change when they get tough. You want to see it through when it's tough. You want to be on to the end and see that through. You want to leave when things are going well, and you've learned what you need to learn in that spot. At the old person named Cassius Clay, who's now Muhammad Ali. He may have died, I'm not sure, but he wasn't long ago. Muhammad Ali, as a world heavyweight boxer, his original name was Cassius Clay. And when he was that age, I watched at the end of, he had won his second world championship heavyweight boxer of the world, and then he lost it. And he was being interviewed, and they asked, "What are you going to do now?" And he says, "I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm not going out of my boxing career I'm going out when I'm on the top." I actually held on to that for most of my life. As I decided, I didn't leave a job because it was tough. I left it because I had finished my tenure there. I'd really learned all that I aggressively could learn in that spot. I'm ready for something new and different. I changed complete professions so I learned something new and different. Because see, I don't care about the technical side of making these parts. I'm learning business, and I can learn business from being applied into a new business, a different venture, a different area, and that's where I thrive. That there's no shortcuts. Stick with it. Be aggressive, don't waste time, come through it on the other end, and you'll be happy. Thanks for being a part of Inspiring Better Business.